Da-da-da-da. Good morning, America. Hold on here, let me get everybody in. Good morning, America. It's Tuesday. Da-da-da. Let's do this, people. Let's do this. We got to do the Lord's work in the devil's playground, my friends. All right, all right. What's up, what's up, what's up? Thayer, what up, baby? How you doing, buddy? It's Monday, but it's not Monday. All right, let's make sure everybody gets in okay. Let's get to work. Let's get a little serum on, you know? Ooh. Bam. All right, I'm ready. You guys ready to party? Send me, let me know what you're watching, and let's go to work. Let's go do this thing. Let's go do this thing. Thayer, what up, baby? Nolan, what's up? Dude, this one is nice. Yeah, I saw this. You got a little upgrade life on this. $18 break. Gushel, that's a good look right there. This is a good look too. Good. Red pen. Ah, look at that. Yeah, let's see if this thing. This is a nice one. You found a good one, buddy. All right. Oh shit, I'm not sharing my screen. All right. Bam. Hey, Mark, what's up, baby? How you doing? Hey, Mr. Hull, what up, baby? Yeah, you know what, Mike? Netflix does look good. I have this on my watch list too. You got a 704 breakout. Now you're on vacation, right, Mikey? I'd probably leave this one alone. That's not a vacation one. Yeah, I'd probably leave that one alone for you too. This one's down too many days in a row. This one you can do. This one sucks to short too. I mean, Mike, this thing has a 11-cent ATR. Take it off. Chew it. This you can have. Who added this? This was good. Oh yeah, there. Good job. You affirm. Cool. All right, guys, what's up? That's a good list, boys. We've got a flat open in the QQQs. I don't know if there's too much to read on this yet. First of all, it's going to be September, so the market looks great. But September is where the boogeyman does come out, all right? September is historically where always the nasty McGee's tend to come out. So be mindful today. The market looks great, but we do have this like weird history in September of doing some ratchet stuff, right? Every time there's been like a nasty something, it tends to happen in the fall, right? It's where the trick-or-treaters come out to play. So just be a little bit mindful, guys, that we're going to have some types of fluctuation. And even Tom Lee, the perma bull himself, called for a little bit of a correction. He never does that either. So we'll see. We've got a soft open, and it's the ideal open if you're a bull to kind of break this thing out. If this thing had gapped up here, we would have been probably sitting on our hands a good chunk of the day. But because we have a flat open here, we need to watch these levels from yesterday. I think that's going to be key. If we pull and we start to hold, so we got the pre-market lows, and then we have Friday and Thursday's lows to kind of base around some support. If we can get down into that, we've got really a lot of support. If we start to bust through this range right here, then I think it's just an all systems is go, right? Because if you look back, let's take a 15-minute chart. If you look back, we've had this lid on at from the 26th basically on the QQQs, right? Just a nice tight range, very low ATR. It's been tradable, and while the market's been going flat, there's been a lot of good stocks moving around, right? Like a firm and some of these things. So that's great. So we have all this stuff going around anyways. That's going to be the sweet spot. So today's open, if you're a bull, it's fantastic, right? You want a slightly weak open always. Flat opens, weak opens, they leave so much meat on the table. And so we can get into this. Now, the beauty of what's happening in the market right now is there's a lot of good setups, not just, sorry, I'm getting my serums on here, not just in, mid caps, small caps, large caps. It's been pretty much across the board. So we can have a diverse group of watch lists today and get into it. Let's first dig into what type of PRs we got out, and then let's go and see what type of earnings go out. So first, let's just take a look and see if we've got any kind of news coming today so that we're, prepared. Let's go in, Old Trade Exchange. You got ISM Manufacturing. I don't think that's anything. Treasury buybacks, right? No Fed speakers. And then look at this. Commodities across the board getting nailed, except for natural gas. And then you got futures market, right? Everything's down just a little bit, but nothing too aggressive. Top conferences, junk. We've got a whole host of these kind of random small caps going. And doesn't look like. Let's see if we got any good upgrades. This AAY has also been on fire. Keep an eye on that one. ADSK, Bank America, lame. And then Redfin. This Redfin right here. This thing's got a very, very hot chart. Hey, Efron, how you doing, brother? This Redfin here's got a hot chart. And this U has, I would say, maybe the best chart of all the tickers that we have on the watch list from the blog yesterday. That right there is the tour de jour. It's got a hot setup. So keep both of those, on your watch list. I think both of these could be something. On the downgrade side, Boeing got an underweight, and it's getting already nailed. I think we can roll with that on the short side. And the rest of this is just a poo-poo platter of despair. So that's looking good. In terms of upcoming U.S. world events, right? We've got Wednesday, we got mortgage applications. Then we got JOLTS, right? JOLTS will probably be a little bit of a market mover. Nothing crazy, but every blue moon it's doing stuff. And then Thursday, we got U.S. jobless claims. This will be more of a movement day. And then Friday too on the unemployment report. So I don't see anything that crazy out, in terms of even earnings. You can see like we've got Asana after hours. There's just a handful of earnings left. There's not many companies left. So I like that. Like when that's happening now, it's the quiet before the storm. What the market's going to do is digest all the ones that did have good reactions, and those can often be your next leaders. So let's roll in and take a look at the gappers. Let's see what kind of news plays are out there. And then I'm going to fine-tune this list that I posted on the blog yesterday. And let's go into this, baby. Whoa. Vaccine plans, phase 3 trial for 31. Hey, this we could do. So it's a $10 billion company. It's got a pretty low float at 90 million. You got a little PR out on this bad boy. Phase 3 trials. That actually, we could probably partake in something like this. Let's add that. I'm into that. Let me get rid of all this junk here. Let me get rid of all this junk. Whoop. Now, let's go back. So this, you're already flagging out. You've got some pretty good range on this. There's going to be a caveat on this one, which is the liquidity on this is going to be pretty light, right? The liquidity on this is going to be pretty light. So we do got to be a little bit careful. Got to be a little bit careful here. You got a spot here too that's developing. My worry is just the liquidity. Look, by the time the market opens, if this thing gets closer to 1 million shares, I think, we'll be fine. But this can move like big time. So you're going to have to trade it small. When you have a spread on these kind of names and they're a little bit higher price, they move a lot faster than you think. And so you got to be you got to be super careful. But this is this is right up our alley of what we like to do. Shills. Oh, Shoals wins initial ITC ruling in patent against voltage. Hey, so this is like a beaten down solar company. And you can see like what's happening here is it's starting to clear out some levels here. You got 90 million share float. It's only $1 billion company. And it looks like they've won some, lawsuit over here. This actually, it may have a chance here. I would be open to this. If you like trading a little bit of a cheaper name, this is going to have some goodies on this. Hey, Nolan, you love you love that knee. Hey, Clip, I'm in, but I'm picking all Detroit Lions players. You know that. But I'm in. Let's roll. Yeah, heck yeah. I'm in. So going back to this, let's add this and see how it sets up. It is up a lot, but you never know. Like we might be able to get a little bit juicy. Let's roll with this one too. SOC Sable Offshore Oil Company. Yeah, so this is you. So they had an upgrade today to equal weight. Price target is 22. I don't know if the equal weight part of the price target really matters, but this pattern is hot. All right. So you've got this big kind of W pattern. It's a bottoming pattern that's been just resting here. Now it rolled right in. And guys, these stocks are doing this. And this is how you know that the market is very hot. You're rolling back through into these supports and you had like these nasty red candles. And then what's happening is they're getting bought up and they're getting bought up quickly. And so what we want to be doing is, when you start to hold at these supports, like they're just all of a sudden they're hit with news, they're hit with an upgrade, and they're just going through. I think if this thing breaks 18, and it may not break 18 today because it's already up 8%, but like if this breaks 18, we got a bonanza on this for the week. So this for me is top of the list on a swing trade basis, right? So holding for multiple days. And on a day trade basis, it's also on my list. But I'm more interested in this one actually for a multi-day hold due to the fact that it used to be $200, right? You've got the nice U pattern. You have no levels of supply till really maybe up here. You can roll with this and, it's got some upside on it. So I like this one a lot. It's got the look to it. Let's add that. That's a good God-fearing Christian setup right there. Redfin also got an upgrade today from B. Riley. They've been doing a lot of upgrades. There as an average rating of a whole price target range, but upgrades to buy from neutral. That's good. I think this is right up our alley. So you got this base breakout here. It came in and tested it, and now it's pulled back for about 4 days. That's a good level of pullback. Because when you do pullback plays, say you got a pop on something and you have a pullback play. You usually need 3 or more days. 3 to 5 days is ideal. 3 days is really a good sweet spot if you have like a light, low volume pullback. But like, see how like you pulled right back into this bone zone, right? The area between the 9 and 20 EMA. That's the sweet spot right there, right? So we definitely want to be partaking in this bad boy. I like the overall look of this. It's breaking back over the 9 EMA. It's got an upgrade today. This is hot. Let's keep going here. So Nvidia is kind of bleeding off. We'll go into that in a second, but I don't think that's anything we need to play. Junk, 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 junk. All right, cool. So we get it. We saw a few news plays, nothing crazy. On the downside, we got all sorts of goodies here. What's up with this DYN? Anybody know? Let's take a look here. Boom, 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 boom. DYN, new clinical data from phase 3 delivery trials, blah, blah, blah. It's got some drug news out. You know, this normally I'd be all about this because it was just a couple bucks and now it ran to 40, but it's opening right at the 200 SMA. Nice. I think that's just opening at a weird spot. Let's leave that one alone. Hey, look, Bitcoin's also getting nailed here. Let me take a look. Uh, you know, you got still, I wouldn't say nailed. It's been sitting in this 59, 60,000. This Beto's just a turd. Yin, this is the China ETS. China's weak too. So you got weakness across the board. We do want to be probably a little bit careful today. Dude, that could bleed off too, but it's got no range left in it. All right. Nvidia is looking weak. Look, this is Soxel. This is your semiconductor ETF. All the semis, they look so damn hot for a second on Friday, and now they're coming off. We've got AVGO. It's announcing its earnings in 2 days. That'll be probably the key for the semiconductor market. And a lot of people don't know, but they're the second biggest. They're the second biggest one. So it's Nvidia, is the big mamma jamma, but AVGO is also about to be $1 trillion company. So this is going to be key for the week. Semis are bleeding off here. I don't know if there's too much to read on it. They look so hot for a second, but there are no buenos. You can see here oil's dumping too. And now this isn't interesting. So Boeing's got a nasty little bear flag here. And you got room down to about 160. It's in a big long range, but it is kind of giving the signal that it's going to the lower end of the range. If we need a short, you got the downgrades on this bad boy, right? You got the downgrades on this bad boy. You got a breakdown right here. I think we add this for a potential short. Let's add that. It's looking good, 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 good. Now we're doing. Hey, Amazon, I think should be on your watch list. That was a monster cock close. Sorry, I don't know what's wrong with my language. That was a monster close on on yesterday, on Friday. So look, Nvidia. This is giving the markness some weakness. All right, you're down 2%. You're also testing the earnings low here, and so you've got a little bit of a hootenanny on this thing, right? So you've got yourself earnings out, and then you had an inside day. And now you're testing the low of the earnings, right? Now you're testing the low of this earnings. Hey, David, it's always on YouTube. If you go on YouTube, every one of these is around. I usually make videos at night for the watch list anyway, so that's a little bit shorter, but I like to do them live too. So now you got an inside day. If you take out this range, so this is a 15-minute chart, and you build under there, so don't just trust it. If it just breaks through for a few pennies, you don't load the boat short. But what happens is, if it starts to build under this level, right, and you hold under there, you're testing back into it, you're developing some level of a pattern under it, Now all of the sudden, you can play it for the downside and see what happens. My preference is probably to leave it alone. I think it's just kind of stuck in a big long range now, and it's been in one for quite some time. And and so you're just in this, right? So how I want to look at this is it's just in a big box, right? And so if it breaks down over here, you've got a little bit of downside. But I think there are just easier plays out there. One of the things that happens is because Nvidia is just such a little popular stock and all of this kind of stuff that we all want to play it because it's all there and we think it just moves around so much. Nvidia moves around 4% a day, which is good, right? But there's a lot of good looking stocks out there, on the long side and short side. They're just easier to trade. Nvidia, since they did their split, it's doing 600, 500 million shares a day in volume. So it is Algo City, this particular stock, right? Like it's Algo City, and it trades, especially if you go on like smaller time frames, it'll just dump off and then whoop, pop through and it'll look hot and it dumps off. And it's a little bit hard of a stock to trade. It's a little bit of a hard stock to trade sometimes. So just something to just kind of keep mind of. The setup is there. And that's why it's important to always know your stats, right? Journal your trades, know your stats, journal your trades, know your stats. Because if you trade this stock well, then it's fine. For me recently, like because it's been mostly stuck in this range, I've actually not been trading it very well. And I'm like, it's a 50-50 shot for me anyways. And I just find it to be a little bit harder to trade, even though it's something everybody talks about. What you'll often happen is like see you'll come into these supports and then you just like wick back and you do all this kind of stuff. So just be mindful, like it's a tricky one. It's weak and the short setup is there, but I personally I don't think I'll partake. Let's look at some of the other big caps because I think that's important. I like to keep a list of these mega caps, and then what you do is I like to look at them on different time frames, right? The reason you want to look at these big ones on different time frames is that there's a lot of cross currents in mega caps. What I mean by cross currents is they do so much volume, they have a lot of market participants in them. When you have stocks that have too many market participants, there's different people trading in different ways. You have investors that are looking at things on a more weekly basis. You have day traders that are looking at things on the 5-minute basis. You have the swing traders looking at things in the 1-hour basis. And so there's all these cross currents that happen. And that's why they start to whip and wave so much. So what you want to do when you trade these is really, at least just the mega ones. The other types of stocks you can, trade much easier. But the mega ones, like you want to make sure that you have some level of time frame alignment on them, meaning that if they've got to all kind of match up in some manner, and then you'll have something. So like Tesla here is coming off some support, and you're kind of coming towards the top of the range. It looks okay. I think that's probably the better one out of some of these. Netflix is the cleanest, right? So if you look here, if you're going to trade the mega, this is a break at the all-time highs. So that's your daily chart. Your weekly chart, right, is lined up here too, right? You got your spot right under resistance. This daily chart is just a 10-day flag. 1 day, 2 day, 3 day, 4 day, 5 day, 6 day, 7 day, 8 day, 9 days of a little bit of the flagnation coming out of it, right? And so you have yourself just a really easy kind of spot on this thing. So that one I like. That one we kept on the watch list. Microsoft's just stuck in range. You're at the 200-day moving average. You're kind of here. And then you can see on the weekly, it's stuck under all this resistance. Not really there. Apple also looks semi-okay, but it's been grinding for a while, so it's not very coiled up. So there's no real setup on that. Amazon, I think, had a monster close on Friday. Big. I think they had a PR out. It was up about 4%. The calls were up like the 0DTs on Friday were up like 600%. It was pretty hot. And you've got a week open on this one right now. I think this one you keep for a potential red to green. If it gets over this level and then breaks over 179, I definitely think you can play this one, back up into the 200-day moving average. Whoa. And then we've got ourselves a little Meta. The Meta is also just kind of right a little bit. It looks okay, like it's ready to kind of bust a move, but it is meandering a little bit here in no man's land. I don't know what to make of this one. Sometimes if you're looking at a stock and you're kind of tilting your head and you're like, is this something, not something? Usually it's just a nothing. You leave it alone. Google, right? Just flat line, nothing there. And then the video we talked about, if it breaks under 116. All right, so we've got a handful of these PR plays. Some of these are actually pretty juicy. Now, there's some good looking stocks out there that we can trade. So let's dig in to the watch list I made yesterday at night, because there's all sorts of kind of mid-cappy names that I think you're gonna get you're gonna have a chance to do some damage on. If the market holds up on the IWM, watch this TGTF. You have this really nice push on low volume. You're just congealing this range. If it breaks through this 24, give or take, then I think you've got yourself a chance. Add this one. Netflix, we talked about. You've got a breakout at 705. Now, look, if the rest of the market kind of is acting like a little bit of a fugazi, then just be mindful. Like, you're going to have to, you may fail on this one. Like it's like, see, the other day I tried to test it and then you got a nasty day out of it. So just be a little bit careful on this. CMG, I really like if the market holds up too, right? You've got like this bottoming pattern. It's this is a longer term play too, but it also looks good for day trading. But it looks like a swing trade. So you got a W pattern here, which is a bottoming pattern. And then you can see here, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days of consolidation just coming right up under the kitchen, right? That's going to be damn, that's nice. Woo, that's looking good, huh? Good. DocuSign, I think this one's got a chance too. You got a big longer term breakout. 1 test, 2 tests, 3 tests, 4 tests. You got the 9 EMA curling right up under it. If it breaks 60, I think you've got a chance. It does need to kind of congeal a little bit out there. It's not necessarily the cleanest just yet. Even like one kind of nasty day and then a show and go, I think would probably be a little bit better. You've got a spot here, especially if this IWM holds up. It's looking good. Mongo Bongo had earnings out yesterday. If you like a little bit higher price, I would do a day 2 on this one, definitely. You got a gap fill all the way to 307. Keep an eye on this one. It's going to have, it's going to have a chance to really get this going. Hey, Sean, I'll check out this BKNG in a second. Yo, by the way, who trades BKNGs? Does 50,000 shares a day in volume? How you move this thing around? How you move this thing around? Seriously. Personally, not my style. Not that there's anything wrong with it. Dude, it's $4,000, right? There's not much wrong with it, but it's $4,000. Hey, on a longer term basis, I want you to set an alert, people. This is the XBI. This is the Biotech ETF. This is for more of we can day trade this, but if this breaks, this is an investable kind of setup, right? An IRA trade, a 401k trade, a swing trade. If it breaks this range here, the first trigger is about 102.50. The second trigger is 103. If it does that, I'll look to probably take some calls, maybe October, November, and try to come in and get this thing going. Like, it's got that's a good look on it. If you want like a little bit more juice and you don't like doing options on stuff, you can look at this Labu. This is the 3X ETF for Biotech. It's got a pretty good range, moves about 5% a day. So if XBI moves 15%, this will probably move 30, 40%, give or take. It's never like an exact move. Adobe, you got to break out here. Set an alert at 578. You've got a good spot right there. 578, set an alert. If you can bust through, I mean, you're in for a spot right there. Man, I like that look too. Chewy, Thayer put this one on the watch list. Hey, this was earnings right here. You had a 30 million share push on 36 million shares. Had a nice day. Only problem was it reversed a lot that day. But now you got a kind of low volume push and it's building out a flag here. I think this has got a chance here. I want to be busting this thing. If it breaks this flag, I mean, we're all systems is a go on this bad boy. Yeah, I think I know, but Adobe uses the AI, don't it? It all is the same shit. Hey, Intel, the semis are weak today, but if Intel goes red to green, you've got a gap fill here. I don't think it gets probably up to there, but that news on Friday, they're going to probably break apart the company. That might get you an actual little bit of juice. I wouldn't be surprised if this thing hit 25, 26. Let's see if we bust through this level here. That's got a good look. It's a little bit of a slower stock, but I think you can handle it. It's got a good look to it. And then we got Roku here, right? You got a nice flag. So you got this big push from 48 to 70. Now you got a nice flag right over the 9 EMA. If it breaks that, then you're off to the races. Hey, for you small cap lovers, by the way, there's an Indian company. I used to trade this back in the day called Siffy. And they just put a shitty PR out that they've got to deal with NVIDIA. And you guys know all these small cap companies that do deals with NVIDIA, they usually have like a couple days where they get like really, really froggy, right? So like SoundHound, very similar. So keep an eye on this. If you like small caps, this is going to be right up your alley. Not my thing, but that's an Indian company too, so I gotta, at least support them. Going back, Roku, and then look, this Qualcomm, I got an alert at 176. I think it's gonna need work to get there. I like this Peloton a lot. This thing had 150 million shares in volume. Now you're building out into this flag. You got the 9 EMA catching up. If it breaks this flag, I think you got a spot on this one. And I want to be focused on some of these anyways. It's got a good look. Hey, Zscaler, whoever just put that, that's a good look. Not the most epic day trader. It's got a $2 ATR and it lacks a little bit of liquidity, but it looks like a swing to me. Like it's got a very nice look to it, like a multi-day hold. A little bit tricky to swing trade just due to the lack of liquidity. It's hard to get size in it because it's always got a spread and it doesn't do that much volume. But I really do like the look on it. That's a really good find, Joe Daddy. I would do anything for love, but I won't do that. Good. What else? Hot damn, guys, and don't forget, we got Labor Day sale coming in. We got 50% off, chat room, boot camps, all sorts of fun stuff. You guys go and join us in the chat room, but bundle it all together. Our options room has been just crushing some puss lately. It really has. Levi's the best trader I've met, but he exceeds myself by quite a bit. You really like his stuff. Go check that stuff out. Good. What else? Give me a look. Give me a look. So I think phase, right? Let's try to narrow these things down, right? It's always good to have some phase. Let me see AQST. Hey, Evan, how you doing, by the way? This is fine, right? It's a setup. It just trades a little bit light, right? If you're like a small cap and you're doing like a million shares, you're a little bit on the light side. I think it's a okay setup. But I think there's probably easier plays out there. It's a B plus, so meaning it's doable, but you might be able to find a little bit better. A firm, yeah, I think a firm is a daily trader at this point, guys. Any pullbacks on a firm, I think you want to be trying to buy. If you get like a 2-3 day pullback on this, I think you're going to have a decent shot at it. This is like, you can't ignore this, right? Like 60 million, 30 million, this huge like coil pattern that it came out of, that it's just been right just for months and months, like just hanging in there. That's a good look. What else? Oh, Apple. Let me see on the Apple. Not big on the Apple, but let's take a look. You got a week open on this one. I just think it's a weird look. Like, I don't know. I don't know exactly what it is. I can't put my finger on it either. And usually, like, if you can't put your finger on it, then you just you leave it alone. I think you leave it alone. Good. SMCI looks okay as a bear flag. It doesn't seem like it wants to like drop anymore. It's a tough. This stock's, I don't know what it is, but it's hard to trade for me. I never get any good juice on it. I think this PCVX is starting to hold up here. Watch this 110. Shoals is still holding up. You got Redfin's looking pretty good. Oh, man. All right. Guys, let's go do what we do. Yeah, I think, you know what? I think the market, this is an ideal open for us. Having a little bit of some red is going to go a long way. Let's go and see, what the week brings for us. I think we got a chance today. I would do anything for love, but I won't do that. All right, I'm hopping in Discord, guys. Let's go shred. Hey, my YouTube friends. I love you guys.